Welcome to Memoirs podcast, where stories are told to create lasting memories in this digital space that we live in. It's time to be creative and explore the opportunities you have to enhance the quality of your storytelling and to give you time back to enjoy with family and friends.
So my son's environmental class had a field trip to the Reagan Library, which boo, but they had this simulation, no, situation room experience. And so what they had to do is they were assigned different community leaders and news agencies and newspapers. There was even a homeowners association and a surfing instructor, and they all had different roles, and they were getting information, each one of them independently on their iPads. My son was part of the Navy and had to set up like a kind of evacuation, and you had to make split-second decisions. And they made it like a game, so everybody started at like 50% trust, and the more right decisions you made, the more your trust gained. And I walked out for a little bit because it was too tempting to look over the kid's shoulder, and they kind of dissuaded the parents to you know, um, get involved. So when I came back in, it gotten to the point because they said as your as news is coming in, you're welcome to go to the podium to make announcements and whatever. So as I walked in, they were like, okay, Christmas is not canceled. And they also had social media. So only the news reporters could report new news, and they had to figure out what was rumor and what was true. But anybody could post on social media, and it was hysterical. The comments were like, oh, all he wants to do is cancel Christmas. And there was a lot of fake news. And I asked the teacher, do you think the current political situation, these are 16-year-olds, so they're experiencing half their life under, well, not really half their life, but, do they think this is normal times? Because it's not. And anyway, it was hysterical. And my son ended up having a good experience. It was a cool thing to watch.
That's cool. I saw those pictures and that was really neat.
What was her answer to your question? Do they think these are normal times?
Oh, no. Her and I got into a conversation. It was nice to have her to talk to because the kids went into the Reagan Museum and we sat outside because we were like, F him. It turns out her whole family is MAGA as well. So she showed me a video that her brother sent.
Victoria,
What?
I'm going to stop you right there.
Got you.
We have Renee in the room. Renee, for everybody that isn't aware, is the campaign manager for Shawn Harris. So one of the things that I was talking about, Victoria, before you came in is I just want to be careful that we don't project our views onto Shawn and say things that the campaign could use against him. We want to keep it professional and all, not like we maybe might normally talk in space.
Got it.
Thank you, Victoria. Appreciate it.
Has he made it in yet? I know he downloaded it to his phone. There's a Shelly, but Shelly is also on our team.
Oh, awesome.
But I don't see him yet either.
Yeah, the second he pops in, we'll be able to see him down there, and I'll bring him up.
Okay, I need to call him, so I think if I mute you guys, I should be okay, right?
Oh, yeah, you should be just fine.
Perfect. I will do that now.
Hey, Rita. Hey, Rita.
Hello, how are you all? I'm just listening. I needed something to keep me awake.
You still driving?
Yeah, we almost there. I got like 2 hours left.
Oh my God, it's Rita! Yay!
How are y'all?
Missing you.
Oh, I miss you guys too.
Hey, Rita.
Thank you. And I just say I'm gonna go back on mute. I'm just listening, trying to stay awake.
Rita, you're getting those steps in. That's what you're really doing. I know what you're really doing over there.
I told you, when I get my steps in, I just be walking around my house.
It should be a really fun conversation today. For those of you that are just joining us, we're having a discussion with Shawn Harris, who is running for Georgia's 14th congressional district against Marjorie Taylor Greene. And we're going to invite him to the space and give him an opportunity to kind of tell us about himself and his platform. And then we'll have some guided questions, but we will also open it up to questions from everybody on the panel. If you have something specific that you want to ask him. I know we also have a lot of people in the room that are from Georgia, and so they have a deeper vested interest in asking him questions. And so we want to also give them the opportunity to ask their questions. And overall, just kind of see how it is that we can help Shawn to bring it home and to defeat Marjorie Taylor Greene, and what it is that we can help him do in that journey.
So, Renee, can you tell us a little bit more about this cattle run that Shawn is doing today? That seemed really interesting.
I see Shawn down below. I'm going to invite him up.
Can y'all guys hear me?
We can.
Yes.
Yes, we can
All
hear
right.
you, Shawn.
Well,
Welcome to the space.
yeah, glad to be here.
We are so grateful that you took the time to come in and to speak with us. We know that you only have a limited amount of time, and so we don't plan on taking your time for granted.
That's all good.
And we definitely have a lot of questions for you.
Okay.
We're very excited. I think that
Hey,
one of the
hey,
things.
you
Sorry,
you
go
don't
ahead.
yeah, you don't have to be so nice to me. I'm in a tough district, so I'm used to tough questions and trying to go from there. So come on, give them to me.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this is a rowdy group, but rowdy in a good way. Rowdy, we are fighters for democracy in here. So yeah, you definitely will not get easy questions, but we're definitely going to keep it friendly. I want to thank you for coming in because I know that for a group like this, we started several years ago on Twitter as Democracy First, and we are a group of citizens all around the country
Okay.
that are concerned about democracy and are doing the best that we can to educate the people that live in our districts and to give accurate information to voters, to get involved in local politics, and to essentially try to secure wins for Democrats and for anybody that is pro democracy and pro sanity. Um, um, and so that you would come to visit a group like us, while we might look small in numbers here on the panel, we kind of spread information to thousands of people in our own communities, in our own social media platforms and stuff. I think it says a lot about you that you're willing to take the time to speak with us and to really put boots to the ground and do the work that needs to be done to win a district that, as you know, is very, very difficult. So I wanted to just kind of give you a minute to, if you wanted to introduce yourself
Yeah,
and your platform.
yeah, I think y'all guys know I'm Shawn Harris. They used to call me Brigadier General Shawn Harris, retired. Last assignment was Israel. I was the senior defense attaché there. If you Google my name, you'll see President Biden stepping off the plane. That beautiful black man, that's me that saluted him when he stepped off the plane. So I spent my entire career, spent majority of my adult life in the military. You might well say most of it. Started off in the United States Marine Corps, enlisted. Did 4 years in the Marine Corps, then got out, went to Tuskegee University, got in the ROTC. They helped pay for school. And then I became a second lieutenant out of Fort Benning and kept going on and on and on all the way up to retiring as a 1-star general. Could have college my wife. We have 5 sons, 4 grandkids, 2 boys, 2 girls. We could have put on the 2nd star, but the 2nd star would have took us to Saudi Arabia. As you can see, what just happened today or yesterday, I didn't want to be in that type setting because I know the individual that came over here yesterday on this particular line. He killed that news reporter, and I didn't want to be the person that was representing the United States in those type settings. So, Colin and I, we made the decision to go on and retire, come on home. We came back to my home state of Georgia, and we ended up buying a house up here in the beautiful mountains of Northwest Georgia. I live in Rockmart, which is probably 20 miles from Rome, which where Marjorie Taylor Greene lives. So we run around the same circles. And after getting out, started a cattle farm here. We raise cattle up here right now. And some Republicans and other military friends and others came to me and said, Shawn, we need a leader. We need somebody who's going to stand up for the people here in Northwest Georgia. You still got a lot of energy left in you. And you still got a lot of road in front of you. We need your leadership. And they asked me to run and, talked about it with the wife, and we decided to do it. So I ran against Marjorie Taylor Greene last time. Let me back up. And reason why I tell you that whole story, nothing in my life has been easy. And that's okay. So I don't get wrapped around the axle when somebody said it's going to be a hard district, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. That's the same thing they said in Afghanistan. That's the same thing they said in Kosovo when I led a team into Kosovo. That's the same thing they said to me when I led a team into Liberia during Ebola time, 2015, 2016. That's the same thing they said to me when I went and spent a majority of my life inside the Middle East, where we did a lot more than drinking tea. So
Army strong, sir.
Army strong all day, brother. So when somebody tell me it's supposed to be tough, what I usually say to them, and I used to say internally to myself and my team, that's what makes it fun. If it was easy, then everybody would be trying to do it. And at the end of the day, Marjorie Taylor Greene is nothing more than another person that has been made up, created by political people. When she was created, the reason why she carries the name MTG, she was created to go directly against AOC. So that's where we at. What I can tell you in this district, I ran against her last time. I was a cat that just got out of the military. People really didn't know me, didn't really trust me. But we still got 135,000 votes. That's the most votes ever came to anybody that ran as a Democrat in this district. One of the key things I want y'all guys to clearly know is, and Renee, I think Renee's on the phone, but one of the things I want you to know is that when out of that 135,000 people that voted for me, those are Democrats, independents, and common sense Republicans. So we got crossover. Matter of fact, we actually outdid Vice President Harris by 12.5 percentage points here in the district. Don't know why. I'm not going to get into that. I'll let y'all guys ask me questions on that. And we also took 5% of people that voted for Donald Trump voted for me. So that's significant. The other piece is significant. I am the first person to run a second time against Marjorie Taylor Greene. Everybody else, for whatever reason they did, packed it up and said, I'm going to go do something different. I'm not. Time what makes it different is people in the community actually know me. They know me as the general, but they also know me as the guy that raised cattle and is here a staple in the community, and they actually see me about throughout the entire area. A couple of things have actually happened, as y'all guys know. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump is in the middle of a divorce right now. The economy is in the shitter. And on top of that, even Donald Trump now is trying to talk kitchen table issues. That is my campaign. My campaign is all about kitchen table issues. It's talking about affordability. It's talking about making sure that you got an affordable house, making sure you have a generational job, A generational job, in my opinion, is a job that can give you a livable wage, but at the same time, be able to feed you, your kids, and your grandkids, and your grandkids, and your grandkids, and your grandkids. So the bottom line, what I mean by that, if you know my area, we're not too far from Huntsville, Alabama. We have people who actually have to drive to Huntsville to try to make a livable wage. I want to work and bring some of those contracts and some of those deals into the district so that we can have an opportunity. The last piece I would say, one of the things that we're doing right now, I might be one of the few politicians that own fan base. When we started this thing, we said we were going to be on every platform, and that's where we're at. So I'm glad to be on fan base talking directly to y'all guys, because I wanted to make sure, I'm not even sure who I'm talking to, but I'll just say it. I wanted to make sure that I was talking to Black and brown people. You know, when you look at our district is very diverse. It's about somewhere between 10 and 11% when it comes to African Americans. We have a lot of Hispanics. I think the Hispanics is right around that same number too. Don't quote me on that. But our pockets when it comes to Hispanics is up in Dalton, Georgia, as y'all guys, if you watch the news, made the news when it came to immigration pretty good. It's also here in Rome, Georgia, and then also here in Cedartown. I live in Rockmart, which is the sister town to Cedartown. Those are where our Hispanic area is at. Just coming off of this last election that we just had the other day, where we got 2 Democrats elected to be part of the PCS. We physically helped both of those candidates, and that's what we're doing right now. You got to win 2025 to win 2026. But I only mentioned that to say this. If you look at our district, you may say, well, this is going to be hard, it's impossible, and all those kind of things. What I would submit to you is trend lines are changing, and the Democratic Party at the highest level is still reading old data, and that's because they just want to go to the places where they think they can get an easy win. And I will also go on a limb and say, I'm not 100% sure, do the Democratic Party want to get rid of Marjorie Taylor Greene? Because she's the devil. And the reason why I say that is we make a lot of money off of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'll pass this out and I'll answer anything that you want to ask me. Is this? I've been back in the race now. I'll go on a limb and say 2 quarters. I don't know exactly how many days, but 2 quarters. The very first quarter, we had 27 days. In 27 days, I actually outraised Marjorie Taylor Greene. In 27 days, I outraised her. That's documented. It's been wrote about in the newspapers. Then we turned right back around this quarter that we're just finished up the other day, and I outraised her a second time. That right there should say to you something is different if the Democrat can actually outraise Marjorie Taylor Greene. And the reason why people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, at least Republicans, is because she was raising so much money that she could give money to other campaigns. People were walking away from her, and now she's trying to change her tune and try to go from there. Last thing I'll say is this. When Marjorie Taylor Greene speaks, she doesn't care about anybody in this district unless it becomes personal. I use 2 examples for you. It was not until her daughter told her that healthcare was going to become an issue that she started talking about healthcare. And that was about 3-4 weeks ago. And you saw on The View and all those other things. And then all of a sudden, she wanted to start talking about affordable housing and all these things. So I'll stop there and answer any questions that you want. One of the things that we do here, and Renee can give y'all guys more details, is that I go to every little town in this district. And many of those towns say that Marjorie Taylor Greene has been our representative for almost 5.5 years, and she's yet to ever show up. And we're doing town halls in every county. I think I've already done 5 or 6, and we got 5 or 6 more to go. It's 10 counties here. And when you look at our district, starting up there at Tennessee, coming all the way back down through here, as it comes further south, gets into Rome, come through Polk County, get into Paulding County, and get into West Cobb. Those are areas that we can turn blue on top of blue on top of blue. My goal is up north is to turn those counties from being red to pink. You say that's kind of crazy, Shawn. The reality of it is, it's not that many people that live up there, So if we can cut the margins and run the margins up on the lower part of the state or the lower part of the district, we win every time. I'll squat and hold there. Ready for your questions.
Thank you, Shawn. It's so exciting to hear a Democrat saying that they're a fighter and that they're ready to fight. Uh, I think we can all agree in this room that we are not living through normal times and that this is not a normal administration. And even on a local level, a lot of the candidates that are running are not running on normal policies. We are in a time where I think the next few years are absolutely going to determine the fate of the republic. And to hear you say that you're ready to do difficult things, that you are ready to take the fight to where it needs to go, that you will not back down, I think that's a powerful message, especially when you consider the recent blue wave that voters delivered for Democrats that said that they're going to fight for them. I'm curious what you think, given that just this morning we woke up to the president reposting things on social media calling for Democrats to be essentially hung, right? What are your thoughts on how politics has changed from when you first ran against her to now? And those Democrats that are still kind of concerned with respectability politics and perhaps kind of holding the status quo when the other side is clearly not in the same place that the Republican Party was even a decade ago?
Well, I thank you for that question. Two parts of that. One, the last time I ran, we ran under all the rules that the Democratic Party would tell you. Be careful, say on this, you need to say this, you need to say that. That's awesome. But we lost. So this time, the Democrats have said they wanted to be a fighter. Well, ma'am, sir, that is my nature. That's all I know. Every place I led troops on across the battlefield or wherever we had to go, we were supposed to come back. Then that's okay, but we still win. So the way I look at it, when I woke up this morning and saw that Donald Trump basically said, kill these people. That's what he said. Okay? That's what Donald Trump said. That's not shocking to me. What we have to make sure that our fellow Democrats understand that we're not asking you to go out and do anything stupid, but we also saying, don't sit in the house and be scared. This is the time that you need to come out and protest. This is the time you need to come out and make sure your voice is being heard. And whoever we are as politicians are supposed to be leaders need to stand up and say something. And right now, I'm not 100% sure who's running the Democratic Party, to be honest with you. But that's okay, because Shawn Harris is laser focused on Northwest Georgia. What I tell my team, what I tell all the Democrats here, and what I tell everybody, first thing you got to do is win the day, win the week, win the month, win the year, and then and only then when we will win the election. So that is the mentality that we use. And that's why when Renee told me to jump on the phone with y'all guys, I put this in the bucket of winning the day, period. So that's where I stand. I try to speak in a way that will motivate. At my town halls, I talk all the policy stuff, but I try to speak in a way that will motivate those Democrats, independents, and common sense Republicans to go out and be empowered and do something. Because what we have already found out is people all over our district, if you just show a little courage, they will too.
I love it. I think that's such a powerful message. I know that there's a lot of people that want to ask questions. Your role as you're running for Congress is a little different because you have you're not just working for your constituents at home, but you're also in charge of essentially holding the executive accountable. And so I would like to kind of start with a broad overview, like on a federal level, and then start getting into some of the nitty gritty within your specific district. I'm curious, generally speaking, when it comes to the idea of law and order and how you differentiate from somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene, are you in support of things like term limits for people in Congress?
Yes, ma'am. I've already put it out there to the team. I'm in the leadership business. That's what I'm in. I'm in the leadership business. I'm in the kicking doors business, kicking in doors and open up opportunities for others. So bottom line, when I go to DC in January of 2027, I'm only going to be up there for 2 terms. Then I'm coming back home and raising cattle. In those 2 terms, the intent is to get as many wins for the people here in this district so they don't give a damn if you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent, that whoever replaces me can step in and stay up there. But again, I don't want them to stay up there forever. I just want them to continue to keep things moving because I think we got too many people in Congress that's been there way too long. Let me just touch on that a little bit more. What makes me different from any other candidate that's walking around the face of the earth right now is majority of the people that's in Congress that has at least been up for there for the last 5 years, the Marjorie Taylor Greene and above. I have actually briefed every last one of them face to face on what was going on in the Middle East. Period. That's what makes me different. I know it's some individuals that when I was briefing them or helping them get on the helicopter, I was paying attention more than please don't let grandpa or grandma fall down and get hurt in X country. How am I going to explain that? That's when you know you're too old. Okay.
That's great. So you support term limits. What about when it comes to reforming the Supreme Court, whether it's putting term limits on justices, having them adhere to an ethics code, expanding the Supreme Court if necessary? Would you vote in favor of that if it came up?
If it came up, I'm be honest with you, I got to study that piece. If it came up and it made sense, and when I say made sense, I have to read every sentence and make sure I understand every word. Then the answer to that is yes. Keep in mind the person that I'm running against, Marjorie Taylor Greene, has publicly put out and said she did not read the big beautiful bill. So I want to make sure before I just say willy-nilly, yeah, I'm going to support that because of the top lines. I want to make sure that I actually dig down in the weeds and understand, okay, what's actually in there so that we don't destroy our country. And I'm not saying we're going to destroy our country, but I want to just make sure when I'm sitting down, we actually do our homework so that I can get to the right position on something. Yes, ma'am.
That's great. And just one last question on kind of some things on the federal level. Do
Okay.
you believe in maybe, trying to claw back some of the power that money has in our politics? For example, limiting the amount of money that PACs can contribute to candidates, basically campaign finance reform so we don't have people like Elon Musk buying presidents.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I don't take any money from APAC, I think that's what they call, and others like that. All of my money comes from individual people. I think Renee would have the number, but I think the last time she briefed me is roughly about $19.20 that comes to my campaign from individuals. I know the leaders of APAC because I've seen them bring not hundreds of thousands. I've seen them bring plenty of our representatives over to Israel. But I have no desire to take money from them. You can check. I like receipts. I encourage y'all guys to go to my webpage or go to my social media. I wrote a letter on October 7th that was significant, October 7th of this year, where I talk about not taking that money and also not taking money from the Muslim side of the house. So I'm not going to be bought. I'm
That's
not
great.
going to be bought. I'm going to go to DC, and when we sit down, we're going to work through everything, reach across the aisle, and get to the common sense solution. And you can't get to the common sense solution if somebody bought you.
That's great. I think too, a part of that equation is accountability,
Mhm.
right? Um, we live in a political climate now where a president can break the law multiple times and nobody holds him accountable. People can orchestrate, like your opponent, a pivotal member of the group that was responsible for January 6th,
Mhm.
and nothing ever happens. Do you consider yourself a pro accountability candidate? And if votes came up to, let's say, impeach, to for example, hold other members accountable for things that they do when they break the law, would you vote in favor of those things and hold people to account when the Democrats take over?
Yes, ma'am. And I even go a step further than that. Because one thing that Marjorie Taylor Greene and I agree upon is that may be the only thing we agree upon is the releasing the Epstein files. Okay. And I'm a firm believer that anybody that had anything to do with the Epstein files, follow me what I'm saying. Democrat or Republican, and I'm not talking about those billionaires, I'm talking about inside of our Congress that's currently sitting in office today. If they did something that was kind of shady, they need to be punished in whatever the right way to be punished. Okay? Because I call all those things enablers. Keep it in mind, my background, the American people, you paid me a lot of money to sit in other countries around the world with very bad people and talk to them. That's what I used to do and report back to DC. What I'm saying to you is we have some individuals currently in Congress that are doing some shady things, Democrats and Republicans, and they need to be held accountable. And yes, our president is one of those individuals. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Yeah, with everything going on with trying to cover up the Epstein files, with the crypto and the president being able to essentially monetize the presidency, um, things like insider trading, right?
Okay.
I
Yes, ma'am.
think the American people are ready for those politicians that say, you know what? If you can't get away with it, I certainly can't get away with it, and we're going to hold to account anybody that breaks the rules.
Correct.
Um, so I'm curious, you're dealing with somebody that, by all extents, and this is me being generous, is an extremist. If you've watched her recent clips in Marjorie Taylor Greene of her trying to change her tone and her brand to, I'm sorry that I was involved in the toxic version of politics. Do you believe that? And where do you think that that's coming from?
I think what Margie's trying to do, Margie's trying to get back to the center. She's looking for her next job. What I can't tell you is that next job is trying to be our senator, or our next job is trying to be the governor, or is her next job she's trying to be the Speaker of the House, or is she trying to become the new mega leader that's outside of the government and kind of take this Charlie Kirk position? Don't know. What I can tell you is this: Marjorie Taylor Greene is a liar, and we have the receipts. And if you come and look at my social media, we put the receipts out there in a very professional manner so that we can remind the people here in this district that this is what Marjorie Taylor Greene said 2 years ago. She's saying the exact opposite now. Why? And oh, by the way, what's the most important thing about a representative is not really what comes out of your mouth, it's how you vote. And Marjorie Taylor Greene has voted against everything that she talks about today: affordable housing, good health care, you name it, she has voted against it. As yesterday, she was talking about veterans, but yet she has voted against the defense bill that actually takes care of our veterans. Yes, it takes care of things we're doing overseas, but the majority of the money is about taking care of the soldiers and their families.
Speaking of that, I want to just ask you about some things specific to your district, and then maybe open it up to Shovel and some of the others that live in Georgia, and then anybody else that has questions.
Okay.
We're dealing right now with a time where people are really, really distraught. They feel like they're working 2 or 3 jobs and they can't afford a home. Young people like myself, we we don't know if there is an American dream for us anymore, right? We don't know if we're going to ever own a home. We don't know if we're ever going to, if our degrees are going to do us any good, or if our jobs are going to be replaced by AI, if a loaf of bread is going to cost $30 because the president decides to put some tariffs on God knows what, right?
Yep.
What do you have to say to those people? And there are so many that are saying, I am working multiple jobs and I can't even pay my rent. The rent is out of control. The groceries are overpriced. How can I live the American dream if I can't even afford the basics every month for what I need to survive?
Yep. And thank you for that question. That's an awesome question. You should start coming to my town halls.
I would love that.
You should, come on. Um, that's a I can give you a two-part answer. The first part of that answer is leaders like you and I and others, we have to speak in a way that we motivate people to come out and vote. Because at this point, if they don't come out and vote, they're never going to get the right leaders up there to change things. And then the other piece of it, I just have to say it plain. The American dream that I'm living, I'm not 100% sure that my son, my boys, and my grandkids will have the same opportunity. Whatnot. That's currently where we at, because everything that I got, I earned. However, Donald Trump and his team through Project 2025 are cutting a lot of those programs that gave me a shot. That's the difference between my generation and the generation right behind me and the generation after that. We have to fight right now, tooth and nail, to ensure that we put things in place. Right before I came on with y'all guys, I was looking at in the Department of Education, they are saying that a teacher is not a real profession anymore. I'm not sure if y'all noticed how they just tearing down the Department of Education, and a nurse practitioner is not a profession anymore. When you say things like that, that means federal funding going to go away from those particular areas. Hence, guess what? Most of those areas that I just routed off is not going to say it's really all men, but the majority of those people actually are women, and it's the assault right now on women. But on top of that is, I believe the Trump administration really want women to stay at home, period.
Yeah, we were discussing that this morning, Sean, and we felt very strongly that it's not a coincidence that they are doing this specifically they're targeting a lot of roles that women tend to fill. So I'm glad that you see the parallels and the connections there, because a lot of people, they don't look at the whole game plan. We know from Project 2025 and from all of the other legislation that they've passed, they are playing the long game. They make plans for this stuff. And when they do something, it's not just to have one result, it's because they expect it to have a trickle down effect to other things. So I'm really glad that you're seeing that. You, as you stated, you ran against Marjorie Taylor Greene before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, before we hand it off to Shovel here, what is it that you learned from that experience with how things have changed, and how is it that you plan on fighting her this time, in order to beat her, that maybe you didn't consider before, or that you now have information on, like, okay, this is the way that I can win?
Yeah. The lesson I learned, the big lesson I learned from last time is this: is that we had a very good plan. However, the people here in Northwest Georgia, specifically here in my district, because we don't really have a large city. It's just a series of small little bitty towns. First of all, before people can vote for you, they got to trust you. Okay. So the lesson that I learned is, we cannot skip over any zip code, no matter how big, no matter what the system says is only X amount of votes there, we got to go there. The other thing that I took away from the last time is this: I got to have people on my team that believe. Did you catch what I just?
Well, if you keep talking like this, Sean, I don't think you're gonna have any problem
What?
converting people
No.
to
What I mean by that, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but I had a lot of great people that were working for me. But when they woke up in the morning, they never truly believed that we could win the damn race. And if you don't think that you can win, stay home. Go do something damn different. And this time, what I have is all people that know that, guess what? In order for us to win, we must win the day. We can't follow the same old cookie cutter things that somebody's doing in Atlanta. We can't do the same old thing they're doing in California. We have to make sure that we doing it in the way that's best for us right here in Little Wood, Northwest Georgia, that most people don't even want to talk about, and that's okay. So that was my takeaways. What am I doing now? We are raising money like crazy. We are making sure that we helping candidates that are running right now in 2025 win. Hence, after we help them win, they will come all the way up here to Northwest Georgia and help us knock on doors, empowering people to come outside and say it's okay to be a Democrat, it's okay to be an independent, and it's okay to be a common sense Republican. And guess what else? It's also okay to vote for Shawn Harris, and you're a crazy ass damn Republican, but you just don't tell anybody that you voted for me. Because you're a farmer, because you're a veteran, because you're a nurse, you're a school teacher. We're just going to keep a secret, but we're going to make sure that we get the right person in. And then that's how we're going to win it.
Absolutely. I was thinking before we started, we need farmers for Shawn Harris stickers and flyers everywhere, right? And signs everywhere. Yeah.
Oh,
That's really.
let me just
Go
say
ahead.
one more thing, because you asked me what are we doing different. If y'all guys like, get up in the morning. I think tomorrow's Friday. Get up in the morning at 7:00 in the morning. And at 7:00 in the morning, I'm on a podcast that's called Voices from the Dirt Road, separate from my campaign, where I'm talking directly to farmers, talking directly to the rural community. That in itself is completely different than any other campaign. Hence,
Yeah.
an audience of people, and we have had guests on that are 100% Republican, 100% right here from our district, that when it comes to agriculture, with all the crazy things that Donald Trump is doing to the farmers, they want to come on and have the conversation. And hence, because many people that vote, they only vote on one issue. Okay? Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to try to make that issue some kind of social issue. Where I'm keeping the conversation is on kitchen table issues. And when it comes to our farmers, if you lose your farm because Donald Trump cut a bad trade deal, that could be the reason why you vote for Shawn Harris. And Marjorie Taylor Greene says nothing about it, and her voting record shows that she voted against everything. I'll stop there.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think that one of the things that we learned from the recent slew of wins that we got across the board, from Mamdani to Spanberger, is every candidate seemed to tailor their message for their people. You know your neighbors, you know your community, and you know what message is going to resonate with them. I certainly don't think it's going to hurt you that she's on the outs with the president now, and I'm hoping that you see that in the results, right? That at least that is able to strip the people that you can't totally win over. Her lack of support from him will strip some of that support and give you an even greater chance of winning. I'm going to hand it over to Shovel now, and anybody else that is in Georgia, if you want to ask Shawn any questions, and then we'll open it up to everybody.
Yeah, while they switching over, let me just say this to y'all guys so everybody's tracking with me. My intent, or our intent, is with this divorce that's going on between Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trump, and we're going to be doing some polling here real soon, is to figure out in November, will Mega come out and vote? because this election comes down to turnout. Suppose Mega sticks with Trump or X amount of Mega sticks with Marjorie, but that number of turnout is very low. So that's one of the things that we're getting at right now to see which way are they splitting. And then I'm not sure if I said it, but I said again, in this district, 141,000 people are on SNAP. I want you to write that down. 141,000 people on SNAP. 135,000 people voted for me. Let those numbers just sink in there. Okay.
Thank you, Shawn. Go ahead, Shovel.
Oh, go ahead, Shovel. I'm sorry.
You can. I'm having a hard time because I'm seriously fangirling, and I'm sorry, Shawn. I'm so excited. I am a fellow Georgia inhabitant, and I live over. Well, hello from East Georgia.
Yeah,
I have tromped around up there in Northwest Georgia. I'm an ex-archaeologist, and so I've worked up near Cartersville. I've had friends in Rockmart, and I'm just, it's been a pleasure to get to know you. We found out we were going to be doing this a couple days ago, and so I've been doing my best to catch up and, read your website. And also, I really enjoy your Voices from the Dirt Road podcast. I appreciate that so much because I think that's definitely one area that while representatives may talk about it, they're not like doing the walk. And and as being a farmer yourself or raising cattle, like it's got to be encouraging to them to hear that you identify with them and you want to hear their voice.
Thank you for listening to the Memoirs podcast, where authenticity and storytelling come together to amplify our unique experiences. We truly appreciate you joining us on this journey of shared narratives. Be sure to tune in for our next live session, where we'll continue to explore compelling stories.